Distance learning, in simple words, is excruciating and exhausting. A lot of students and teachers experience mental and overall health deterioration due to the failed response to distance learning and heavy academic workload. Thus, students and teachers are already tired and distressed with online classes. There were reports of delayed distribution of modules and even deteriorating quality or content of the modules. Mental health of students is affected for many factors, such as financial and workload problems. But the main reason for the struggles of the students is about the failure of the regime in its response to the pandemic. Numerous factors about the deterioration of mental health of the students arises while there is still an unclear response of the government to the pandemic. First, the financial crisis. Around 10.9 million Filipinos workers lost their jobs because of the continuing lockdown. With that being said, on those million Filipino workers, many of them have a family, and of course, has a child that goes to school. Students lack suitable resources to keep pace to the distance learning because their parents lack the finances to afford these gadgets. Due to the unavailability of appropriate resources, such as fast internet and outdated gadgets, many miss their classes and tasks. Second, due to the pressure of the workload, distance learning brought burden to the students. In my own experience, I felt that I'm not learning anymore, and I'm just complying with the requirements to pass. It's pressuring since you mostly have to rely on yourself, and it takes away the essence of why some people go to school, which is to actually learn, and not to just submit requirements. The intense stress on seeing another task to be submitted is tormenting. Since we are using online platforms, we have to keep using gadgets for the whole day to accomplish requirements and assessments amidst a pandemic. Staring at our gadgets for the whole day is undoubtedly draining. It is also stressful when I can't keep up with the given topic due to unstable connection. Whenever the internet connection is unstable, we always have to find a way on how to have access for Wi-Fi or mobile data because it is hard to keep up if we miss a class. Sometimes, a student forces themselves to enter the class since a day being absent can stack up more assignments. Third, an unfitting learning environment. During face-to-face, the student's environment is suitable for learning. There is a division between the school environment and the environment of our home for personal life. We also have our friends to be with through thick and thin. If we've failed an exam, it's okay since we have our companion. And also, face-to-face creates a bond between students and teachers, thus facing a struggle much easier. But during distance learning, the environment is disorganized. In my own experience, sometimes I log into the online class and wash the clothes at the same time. It is a struggle to be a student and a daughter at the same time. Fourth, isolation of the people and the effects of seeing bad news every day. More than a year of not getting out can build anxiety and depression to the people. In addition, there is the anxiousness of catching the virus. We are battling against COVID, but there is an addition to what we are battling with, which is deadlines. Seeing bad news every day is also nerve-wracking. Every day, there is another person who died because of COVID and hunger. Another is the state forces killing its own people with an unacceptable reason. We never know that will be the next one that will die. The situation makes me feel indignant since there is still no clear response to the pandemic. Instead of the government allotting time and effort to the pandemic, they chose to fund the Dolomite Sun that doesn't do any good. They chose to enact the anti-terror law that does more harm than good. The true opponent is the virus, and not the people. They said that distance learning is a good solution so that the students can carry on with learning in spite of the pandemic. They proposed the modular and online learning choice. But it is only an illusion of having a choice from the mere fact that a significant population will end up in modular learning or worse, will drop out of school due to the regime's failure to address the lack of equipment and slow internet connection for online learning. It can be recalled that at the start of distance learning and throughout the course of different modalities under the new setup in education amid the pandemic, the student demands are strongly urged by different youth and students groups, councils, publications, and organizations. And after almost a year, the Duterte regime did not heed the suggestions and demands of the sector of education. Assert our right to safe, accessible, and quality education amid the pandemic. The pandemic further exposed the rotten neoliberal education in our country. With the start of the new school year, it will be seen that the institutions are still not ready to help and guide families in continuing their youth education. Duterte's DepEd and CHED are pushing for the resumption of classes despite the lack of mass testing, the large number of students deprived of affordable education, the recession of the economy, and many other factors. The Duterte regime continues to be useless in its reckless prioritization of executioners, police, and military, rather than medical workers and other frontline workers.